You're driving late at night on base, minding your own business, when suddenly a truck comes out of nowhere, blinding you with its brights, tailgating you so close you can't even see straight. You try to pull away, but when you do, the truck throws on its lights and pulls you over. And here's the kicker, the guy behind the wheel, a military cop, itching to destroy your career over something he caused. Well, my dad was that driver. And months later, he got the perfect chance to turn the tables in a way that the cocky MP never saw coming. If you've ever wished you could serve poetic justice to someone who abused their power, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. Setup: the injustice. Back in the 1980s, my dad was a young Marine, stationed on base, driving home in the middle of the night. It was quiet, the kind of eerie calm where even the sound of your tires feels louder than it should. That's when it happened. Out of nowhere, headlights exploded in his rearview mirror. A white truck glued itself to his bumper, so close he swore he couldn't even see the grille. The lights reflected off all three mirrors, searing his vision, making every second behind wheel fight just to stay steady. He tapped the gas, just a little, trying to put distance between himself and the maniac behind him. But the truck mirrored every move. Closer, brighter, more aggressive. Finally, the truck lit up with flashing reds and blues. It wasn't some reckless driver. It was a military police officer. The MP stepped out, a lance corporal, lower ranking, but with a smugness that oozed from every word. He accused my dad of speeding. My dad tried to explain, "You were the one tailgating me with your brights. I was just trying to create space." But the Lance MP wasn't hearing it. He was dead set on writing a ticket, one that could have seriously hurt my dad's record and career. Backup arrived, another MP, this one a corporal, outranking the Lance. Dad told his side, calm and respectful. The corporal listened, and immediately understood. But instead of letting it go, the Lance corporal, drunk with his tiny ounce of authority, started arguing with his superior, demanding the ticket stick. The corporal shut it down. No ticket. Dad drove off, but as he pulled away, the sting of injustice burned hotter than the headlights had. This kid had tried to wreck him, and he knew damn well he'd probably pulled the same stunt on other Marines before. Escalation, months later. Fast forward a few months. My dad had moved on, or so he thought. See, my dad wasn't just any Marine. He was a marksmanship coach, one of the guys responsible for qualifying Marines on the shooting range. Every Marine, every year, has to pass this qualification. No exceptions. Fail it, and your career could stall, or worse. And that's when fate delivered the setup for the sweetest revenge of all. On the range one day, my dad glanced over the roster of shooters. And there it was. That name, that face, that same cocky Lance MP. The universe had handed my dad the opportunity. He approached another coach quietly, asked to swap spots, and took over as a Lance Corporal's instructor. At first, the Lance MP didn't recognize him, but as my dad walked up, locked eyes with him, and asked, "Do you remember me?" The MP's head dropped. "Yes." My dad leaned in close. "You've got one shot. One tiny mistake, and your ass is done." Turning point. The pressure cooker. Over the next few hours, the Lance Corporal shot clean. Every round on target. Every move by the book. My dad watched like a hawk, waiting for the slip. But the kid was locked in, no doubt fueled by fear. Sweat beaded at his temple. His hands shook every time he reloaded. But he held it together. Shot after shot. Drill after drill. Perfect. It was looking like he'd escape. That maybe justice wasn't going to come after all. But then, the moment arrived. At the end of the qualification, every shooter has to unload and show clear, open the chamber, let the coach verify it's safe, and only then step off the line. The Lance Corporal cracked open his weapon, tilted it toward my dad. But before Dad could even look, the kid snapped it shut and walked off like he was done. A cardinal sin. A massive safety violation. Dad's voice cut through the range like a gunshot. "That's a mistake I needed. Get the fuck off my range." Revenge execution. Sweet justice. The Lance MP froze, eyes wide, before breaking into desperate protests. "This is bullshit. No, This is fucking bullshit. But Dad wasn't budging. Safety violations aren't suggestions. They're law. And this wasn't just any coach. This was the same Marine he had once tried to humiliate on the side of the road. Now it was his turn to feel powerless. The once arrogant MP, who had taunted others with tickets, was left trembling, humiliated, and disqualified. No qualification meant trouble. Serious trouble. His career, his reputation, both crippled by one careless mistake. And Dad? He walked off with quiet satisfaction, not needing to say another word. Think about it. This kid had spent over 5 minutes arguing with a superior officer just to ruin my dad's record over a situation he caused. If he'd succeeded, my dad could have faced far more serious consequences than this MP ever did. But instead, months later, justice came full circle. The same arrogance that made him abuse his authority came back to choke him in the one place no Marine can afford to fail, the rifle range. Sometimes karma doesn't come fast, but when it does, it hits with precision. My dad isn't a spiteful man, but sometimes life gives you the chance to teach someone a lesson they desperately need. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories where justice, sweet, sweet justice, gets served.